So this is a continuation of a previous video on how to enroll or how to enter a preschool facility or a childcare facility here in Japan. In that video, I talked about the process as well as the requirements, the document requirements in applying to enter a childcare facility. So if you haven't yet, you might want to check my video. So just search for it in my channel. So after doing all the paperwork and receiving the certification on what type of childcare your child needs, you can now officially enroll your child to the childcare facility that was approved by the city or the municipality's child welfare division. And the next thing that you should do is prepare all the things that your child needs or will be using or needing every day at the preschool. So in this video, I have the basic items or things that your child needs in their everyday school life. I also included here some things that they'll be needing depending on the season. So let's start with the small rucksack or the small backpack. So by the way, they call this in Japanese ryukusak. So rucksack. So this is where you put all the other things that your child needs. However, depending on the age of your child, you might need an extra bag because usually the kids carry their own backpacks or rucksacks. Sometimes as young as 1 year old or 2 years old, I could see some kids going to the preschool or to the childcare facility carrying their own bags. And then their parents are carrying a separate bag where they put the other things of their kids. Next up is a set of change clothes, or in Japanese, I think they call it kigae. So with this, with a set of change clothes, I mean we have an underwear, a t-shirt, depending on the season. So they might, of course, in hot seasons or in hot days, your child needs just a short sleeve t-shirt and maybe short pants or long pants made also from cotton. But for the cold seasons, we usually let Shinichi wear long sleeved shirts and pants with this material. So the warm materials, not the cotton ones or polyester. So shirts, underwear, and also socks. So if your child still wears diapers or what they call in Japanese omotsu, you should also need to include at least one or maybe two. Next is a sports towel. So for the sports towel, the nursery school or the childcare facility provides a specific size or dimension on how big your sports towel, the sports towel that your child needs. So for example, in Shinichi's school, they required a 75 centimeters by 35 centimeters. They usually use this after after playing outside or outdoors, and then if they play with water during hot seasons or especially during summer, they also need the sports towel. So in Shinichi's previous school, they required 2 sports towels every day. So we had to bring those 2 sports towels. But in his current preschool, they're only requiring 1 sports towel. So next are the eating utensils. So for school lunch, your child needs a plastic cup, a set of spoon and fork, or spoon and chopsticks if your child is already 5 years old. And then a lunch mat. So this one. Another one is toothbrush. But I don't know in other schools, but in Shinichi's school, they require only those 5-year-old kids to bring toothbrush every day because they are already teaching those kids to brush their own teeth after eating lunch. So for younger kids, for 4 years old and younger, toothbrushes are not yet required. And the next one is a cloth pouch or pouches. So like this. You need at least 2 of this. So why 2? The first one, you have to put the plastic cup in it. So it should be in a separate pouch because the kids use their cups to drink tea. Oh, by the way, in Shinichi's preschools, even in the previous one, they drink tea, not water. They drink tea after playing outside or when they are thirsty. And then during lunch, they drink milk. And then during snack time, they also drink milk or tea. So a separate pouch for the cup. And then for the other pouch, you put the spoon and the fork or spoon and the chopstick set in it. And then this mat or panlatag. And then, yeah, you put it inside the other pouch. And then, so you have the eating utensils. Next one is the boshi or the hat or the cap. In a nursery school in Japan, caps or hats are color coded based on the age of the children. So you buy or order your child's cap or boshi from the facility, from the childcare facility. Because by the way, I bought this when Shinichi had his like temporary childcare or Ichiji Hoiku, because we don't know yet which age group he had to join. But then when he was enrolled regularly in that preschool, in that nursery school, that's when they told us that the color of Shinichi's cap should be green. So that's why we ordered from the school. So this one usually is used by elementary school kids. So I think I also mentioned this in a previous video. It has red and the white side. So usually for team games or activities in elementary school, they have two groups, white team and red team. So they can just reverse their caps. But in preschool, kids usually wear this when they're playing outside, or when they go out of the nursery school, they have like a mini town walk, or they do kind of camping or playing in the nearby park. So all the items that I previously mentioned, the cap, the eating utensils, and then the set of change clothes are all placed in the mini backpack or mini rucksack of your child. So if your child is kind of big or tall, maybe you need a bigger bag. So for Shinichi, when he was 3 years old, oh no, I think we bought this bag when he was 4 years old. So during summer, we usually use this bag for Shinichi's things, because he only needs thin clothes, like small clothes. So everything fits in here. However, during winter and fall, and sometimes also, I think in spring also, because his clothes are kind of bigger. So we need a bigger bag. So he uses a bigger, actually an adult backpack. He now uses an adult backpack. Next one is the water bottle, or what they call in Japanese, suito. For the suito, however, preschool kids only need this during summer and I think also in fall, because when they usually play outside, of course, it's hot outside, and then they play, they get tired, they get thirsty. That's when they bring their own water bottles and drink their own tea or water. And sometimes they also go out and have a walk in the park or play in the park. In the nearby park, they also need the water bottle and then have picnic in there sometimes during their obento day. So they also need to bring their own bottles. I mean, water or teas. Next up is the sleeping mat or the sleeping pad, like this one. So in preschools in Japan, the nursery schools or the childcare facilities have an afternoon sleep time or nap time for the kids. Usually that's after lunch. So maybe an hour or two in the afternoon. It's not really a nap, but yeah, afternoon sleep time. Again, it depends on the season, because during summer and fall, the kids need the thinner version of the sleeping pad or the sleeping mat. However, during winter, they need a thicker sleeping pad or a sleeping mat, and a warmer sleeping mat or sleeping pad. So we have this version, the thicker version. And then for the size, it depends also on the school. They're gonna be anyway. They're gonna be telling you or informing you of the dimensions or the size of the sleeping pad that your kid needs. So after eating lunch, the teachers and I think with the help of the kids put away all those desks, tables, and chairs, maybe outside of the classroom or maybe on one side of the classroom, and then the kids lay down the sleeping mats on the floor, and then they sleep for about an hour or two. So of course not all kids sleep after lunch or in the afternoon, but they still have to lie down and just keep quiet, stay silent in there, lying down while all the other kids are sleeping. So they don't force the kids to sleep. Unlike in the Philippines, like with the grandmother or the mother or the father holding a stick, merong pamalo, no? And then next, of course, if they have the sleeping time, they have the sleeping mat or sleeping pad. The kids need bed sheet and then a blanket. But in Japan, preschool facilities or childcare facilities, they don't really need the real blankets or the real bed sheets. Instead, they need two bath towels, adult bath towels. So again, there's also a specific size for the bath towels that the kids need. So your school, I mean the preschool facility will just give you a list of the specifications. For hot seasons or warm seasons, kids need bath towels for bed sheet and blanket. However, in colder seasons, they use the warmer blankets. I think I don't know how you call this type of cloth or fabric. Parang it's flannel yata. Yeah, the warm type. So they need two of this. So one again for the bed sheet and one for the blanket. So for the sleeping mat or sleeping pad and the towels for blanket and bed sheet, of course they can't fit in the small rucksack or the small backpack of your kid. We bought a bag in a Yakuen shop in Daiso. So wherein we put the sleeping mat or sleeping pad and the blankets. So this one. However, for the sleeping mat and the blankets or the sleeping pad and the blankets, you don't need to bring them every day. So like you bring them to school on Monday and then take them home on Friday for, of course, for laundry. And then during summer, that's July to August. This depends on the childcare facility or preschool facility where you have your child enrolled in. But in Shinichi's current school, they have pool time or what they call in Japanese poru asobi, wherein they have I think every other week they have a schedule on when they could play in the kiddie pool, because in his current preschool they have a small kiddie pool wherein the kids can have fun times, fun games, fun activities during summer. And because they play in the pool, they need swimming attire or swimwear. With swimwear, I mean the complete, like adults playing or swimming in the swimming pool. They have their swimming trunks and then their swimming shirt. I don't know how it's properly called, but it's, yeah, swimsuit. And then the trunks and the shirts are not enough because they also use a swimming cap. So like this. So again, for this, the school doesn't prescribe a specific dimension or color or type. So it depends on the parents on what kinds of swimwear they'd be buying for their kids, for as long as the kids know how to take them off and then put them on. Yeah, during that's only during summer. And then you also need a beach bag where you will put those wet clothes that your child uses after the poro asobi, or the pool time, pool playing time. For the pool asobi or the pool time, it depends on the school, on the facility, if they have a pool. Because in Shinichi's previous nursery school, they didn't have a swimming pool or a kiddie pool. So what they did was they only played games using water, like playing putting water inside balloons or in bottles, and then playing water guns or water toys like that. So but still the same, they needed a beach bag, because of course after playing, the kids are all wet, so they have to change clothes, and they have to put their wet clothes in the beach bags. So these are the basic things that your child needs when enrolling or when entering a preschool facility or a childcare facility here in Japan. There might be some other things that the school requires. So anyway, for the Japanese schools or Japanese facilities, they are very good at communicating with the parents. So just look for the communication paper inside your child's bag whenever you pick them up at school every day. So again, I hope this video again helps you in preparing your child as you enroll them to a childcare facility here in Japan. So that's all for this video. I'll see you again next time.